So, we start off with a question. Holy Spirit, it is clear that trust is key to awakening, since we must trust you to lead us from everything we think we know to the remembrance of truth. Since trust is key, doubt can seem to be a major obstacle. What can you share that will help us through? One of the greatest fears that I ever felt on this path to awakening, in fact, I called it the fear that brought me to my knees, because that's just exactly what it seemed to do. It seemed to bring everything to a complete stop. It was the ultimate panic for me. The fear that just tore me up was doubt. It was the fear that the truth is not true. It was the fear that the world is real and that anything that seems to come from the mind of enlightenment is actually the delusion. That what we want so much is for there to only be love, or for there to only be God, or for goodness to be all that exists. That our very powerful human imagination makes up spiritual experiences, inner voices, all of this which seems very true, seems very sincere. Certainly I would never, ever, ever say at the level of form that I am a fake. There is no doubt in my mind that at the level of form, I have always been very sincere in my practice, in my seeking or my search, in my listening to the inner voice, in everything, every word that has ever been written, I honestly heard. Never at the level of form could I say that I was a fake. But there was a fear, a very real fear, that somehow, without me knowing it, I was making all of this stuff that we call truth up. And whenever that fear would come into my mind, it was the worst. And I think probably, it seems like I remember telling this story recently, though I don't exactly remember where. But I think I probably told you recently that I finally faced the full brunt of this fear last year. Last April, I believe it was, April of 2008, when it came on in a very, very, very strong way. I doubted everything that I'd ever heard. I doubted every person who ever seemed enlightened, seemed to be coming from wisdom. I doubted everything that was not right here in the world, easy to verify with the senses, the five senses. And I think I mentioned to you that what I really did was I laid here on the love seat in my office, and I swear I laid here for a week with my tongue hanging out. I mean, I couldn't do anything but lay there while I just felt the full brunt of that fear. But what I did as I felt it was very important. The funny thing is, this is the humor in this story, the funny thing is, as big as the fear seemed, my trust or my remembrance, I don't even know which it was, my trust in truth or my remembrance of truth was actually stronger. So I was able to lay here for a full week and feel the full brunt of that fear that the truth is not true, with the knowledge that this was going to pass and that I was going to be okay. And I didn't struggle against it. I didn't fight it in any way. I didn't judge myself for experiencing it. I just laid there and felt it. And since that time, this doubt that was really crippling to me from time to time, so far it has not returned. I've not experienced it. In fact, I would say now it seems so obvious to me that the truth is true, that the doubt is a little bit of just a giggle. It's just kind of a giggle. But obviously that was April of 2008 when I finally allowed myself to be done with this doubt. So in January of 2006, I was not yet done. So this doubt would come over me, where I would doubt everything I was writing, and I was writing NTI at this time. I would doubt everything, and it just terrified me. It terrified me. My greatest fear was that I was making this up and not knowing it. That was